Hi, family. Welcome to another Minute of Truth. But before I get into the truth, I just wanted to give you a little disclaimer or, disclose a little information. So sometimes you'll see me on video, sometimes you won't. It just depends on how I feel today. And I do write out what I want to say. I don't speak off the top of my head because I will forget everything, and I would actually just go on a rampage or a tangent about starting with one thing, and I will end up like 5 conversations in. So I do need to organize my thoughts, and for me to put all my thoughts into a video for you guys about what I'm speaking on. I do need to write things down, and then I edit it and I edit it again. And yeah, I'm not trying to make it perfect, but I do want to stay on topic because, like I said, my mind runs a mile a minute. So thanks for understanding. I love you all, and let's get into it. So here's your minute of truth. Pretty doesn't mean pure. And I need you to really sit with that for a second. Because a lot of people have been trained to trust beauty before they trust truth. We've drawn to what looks polished, and we're drawn to what looks soft, clean, charming, and put together. We're drawn to what looks like peace, but not everything that looks beautiful is good. And not everything that looks good is safe. Some things are like weeds. They can grow pretty. They can look delicate. They can even look like they belong right there among the flowers. At first glance, you might not even notice them. You might think they're harmless. You might think they're just a part of the garden. But weeds are tricky. They don't always show up looking ugly. Sometimes they show up looking beautiful. Sometimes they show up looking convincing. And sometimes they show up looking like something worth keeping. But underneath all that beauty, they're spreading. They're taking up space. They're reaching down deep. They're crowding out what actually is meant to grow. And that's why this matters. Because in life, some things and the same thing can happen. Something can look beautiful on the outside and still be destructive on the inside. A person can look kind on the outside and still be poisonous in their spirit. A situation can look peaceful on the outside and still be draining your peace from underneath. A habit can look harmless on the outside and still be quietly destroying your life. That's why we can't just look at what something seems to be. We have to look at what it produces, what it feeds, what it changes. We have to look at what it does when nobody is watching. Because beauty without purity isn't decoration. Whoops. My bad. I was supposed to say, because beauty without purity is only decoration. And decorations can fool you. It can make you stay long. It can make you excuse too much. It can make you lower your guard. And it can make you believe that because something is attractive, it must also be trustworthy. But not everything attractive is aligned with truth. Not everything charming is clean. Not everything familiar is safe. Not everything soft is sincere. Sometimes the most dangerous things in our lives are the ones that are easiest to excuse. We excuse them because they're pretty. We excuse them because they sound good. We excuse them because they make us feel comfortable in the moment. We excuse them because part of us wants to believe that what looks that good must also be good. But weeds don't care how pretty they look. They just keep spreading. And that's what makes them dangerous. Because once something gets deep enough, it starts influencing everything around it. It starts taking over the soil. It starts choking out what should have been healthy. It starts making it harder for real flowers to grow. And family, that's true in the mind too. It's true in the heart also. That's true in relationships too. And it's true for the soul. A lie can look attractive. A bad habit can feel comfortable. A toxic attachment can feel familiar. A broken pattern can feel normal. But just because something feels normal doesn't mean it's safe. And just because something looks beautiful doesn't mean it's pure. That's why discernment matters. Discernment asks a harder question. Not just, does it look good? But what is this doing underneath? Not just, does this sound right? But what is this growing? Not just, does this feel comfortable? But is this actually healthy? Because a weed will always tell on itself eventually. Maybe not right away. Maybe not at first glance. Maybe not when everybody is still admiring it. But over time, what is false starts to show. What is toxic starts to spread. What is hidden starts to surface. And what is rotten underneath starts affecting what's around it. And that's why you can't be fooled by the surface. You can't keep falling in love with appearances and ignoring the root. You can't keep admiring the bloom while refusing to check the base. You can't keep calling something good just because it's beautiful. Pretty does not mean pure. Pretty can be performance. Pure is a condition. Pretty can be worn. Pure has to be lived. Pretty can impress people. Pure protects life. And there's a difference between something that looks like it belongs in your life and something that actually belongs in your life. Some things are meant to stay. Some things are meant to be removed. Some things are meant to be pulled out before they take over. That's not cruelty. That's wisdom. Because loving your life means being willing to protect it. It means being willing to remove what is quietly damaging it. It means being willing to stop romanticizing what is actually harmful. And yes, sometimes that's painful because weeds don't always show up looking like enemies. Sometimes they look like comfort. Sometimes they look like beauty. Sometimes they look like something you've grown used to. But if it's taking over from underneath, that shit has to go. That's what truth does. Truth helps you see through the surface. Truth helps you stop being impressed by what only looks good. Truth helps you protect your garden. Truth helps you choose purity over performance. And that's what this episode is really saying. Don't get distracted by pretty. Don't get fooled by surface level beauty. Don't let something stay just because it looks harmless. Look deeper. Because what is underneath will always matter more than what is on top. So if something in your life looks beautiful but keeps bringing you destruction, pay attention. If something looks sweet but keeps spreading poison, pay attention. If something looks harmless but keeps crowding out your peace, pay attention. Not everything that blooms is good. Not everything that shines is clean. Not everything that looks like a flower is meant to stay in the garden. Sometimes it's a weed. And once you know that, you can't unsee it. So choose wisely, protect your peace, guard your root, and don't let pretty fool you. Because pretty doesn't mean pure. And after all the healing, after all the growing, all the lessons, after all the tears and the truth and the pruning, sometimes it just turns out to be for the shits and giggles anyway. So let's keep walking together. Bye, guys. Love you.